Manhwa Webtoon that became K-drama recommendations. 1. Cheese in the Trap 2016. Genre: friendship, psychological, romance, drama. Hong Sol's financial situation is pretty bad. She took a break from university because of it, but now she's back. She's a perfectionist who loves to work and study, and never wronged anybody in her life. Well, there is a first time for everything, and she just had to anger the most popular guy around, Yu Young. He spends a year making her day a living hell, so why is he acting so kind and friendly towards her now? 2. My ID is Gangnam Beauty. Genre: coming of age, romance comedy, drama. Kong Mi Rae was tired of being bullied just because she was ugly. When she had the opportunity to start fresh, she decided to do it right. Her university life began and she was transformed. Plastic surgery does accomplish miracles. When she finally thought she could be happy, she realized that she couldn't have been more wrong. First of all, being a pretty girl turned out to be not as nice as she thought, and the people who realized she wasn't natural started bullying her all over again, calling her Gangnam Plastic Surgery Monster. Will her self-esteem ever recover from all those traumatic shocks she had to endure? 3. Strangers from Hell. Genre: psychological thriller. Yoon Jong-woo just moved to Seoul. He found a pretty cheap studio he can stay in called Eden Studio. He immediately jumped at the opportunity since he is short on money. The place is not exactly to his preference, but that is tolerable compared to the other residents. They are just extremely creepy. Weird things happen at night, and Yoon is now terrified of the people he lives with. 4. A Business Proposal. Genres: comedy, romance, drama. Shin Ha-ri has had a crush on one of her friends for a long time, but her heart was crushed when she learned that he was no longer single. To cheer herself up, she went out with her friend, who asked her to go on a blind date in her stead. Well, why the hell not? She accepted her offer with the intention to have fun and, of course, get rejected by the guy she was about to meet. Imagine her surprise when she realized that her date was with the owner of the company she works at. Both of them had very different goals on that specific date. The young CEO, a workaholic, just wanted to marry the first girl he meets so he won't have to put up with this kind of hassle anymore. However, Shin Ha-ri is pretending to be someone else. How is she going to get out of that mess now? 5. What's Wrong with Secretary Kim? Genre: romantic comedy. A capable businessman is nothing without his trusty secretary. Lee Young-jun, a vice chairman, has been working with the talented Kim Mi-so for 9 years now, and he really believed that she would never leave his side. However, the dreadful day arrived and she presented her resignation. Lee Young-jun decides to do everything in his power to make her change her mind. As they got closer, that professional relationship that they shared transformed and traumatic pasts came to light. 6. Color Rush. Genres: mystery, romance, youth, drama. Monochromatic individuals, also called monos, live in a colorless world surrounded by endless shades of gray, not the movie. However, every mono can trigger the color rush, a phenomenon that gives them the ability to see color when they come in contact with their fated one. Yeon Woo always lived in his gray world and was never curious about colors, never cared to search for his second half. He was happy as he was. He was happy until he met Yoo Han and experienced his first color rush. Beautiful and new things are addictive, and Yeon was terrified to become infatuated with Yoo just because he was the one who made him see the mesmerizing real world. To avoid that scenario, he took his distance, but why is Yoo Han making it so difficult? He is not the one gaining something from that relationship as far as I know. 7. Backstreet Rookie. Genres: action, business, comedy, romance. Young Se-byul is the kind of girl all guys would dream to date. She is young, fights like a pro, is super cute, and is extremely affectionate and loving towards her family and friends. She's just perfect. I can't even count the number of guys who asked her out. However, she declined all of them as she only has eyes for the handsome owner of a convenience store called Choi Dae-yun. As an attempt to make him look at her, she applied to become one of his employees and she was hired. This is where an amazing and touching love story begins. 8. Itaewon Class. Genre: drama. Park Se-roye's father died in a terrible accident caused by the son of Jang Dae-hee, the Jenga group, Jang Jun-won. He lost all his reason and was overwhelmed with grief. He tried to kill the monster who took his father from him. But those with power and money always get out victorious from those kinds of situations. He was thrown in jail, and like this wasn't enough of a punishment, Jang Dae offered the woman he loves a scholarship as well as a job in his company. Years have passed and our MC is now out of prison. Still pursuing revenge, he opened a shop in Itaewon called Danbam. However, managing a business isn't really his forte. Luckily, Jo Yi-seo walks into his life at the most perfect of moments. 9. Weak hero. Genre: school, action, delinquent, shonen, drama. Once the bullies target you, it's game over. The school is run by tyrants whose favorite hobby is tormenting the weakest kids in class. But then Gray arrived. This mysterious new student threatens to dismantle the established order. He may be small in stature, but his calculative and brutal fighting leaves unsuspecting opponents lying on the floor begging for mercy. Now the school's toughest bullies have to scramble to take down this new and unusual hero. 10. Mystic Pop-Up Bar. Genre: drama, fantasy, mystery, comedy, supernatural. There exists a very peculiar pojangmasha. This pojangmasha is owned by the irritable Weealju, a woman who, for some reason, has to settle the resentments of 100,000 souls. Her part-time employee, Hong Kong Bay, is helping her with her mission by using his special ability on their clients. Just by touching them, he can make them spill their guts out. Finally, Chief GWI visits them in their dreams to help them fix their problems. Why are they doing so? What pushed them to help that woman, and why do Weealju have to do all that? All those questions are pure mysteries. Oh, and FYI, a pojangmasha is like a bar, a drinking establishment. 11. Extraordinary You. Genres: comedy, romance, youth, fantasy. Imagine if your world was a fictional one. That your future, your choices are already predetermined by the author that wrote your story. Horrible, isn't it? Well, that is what is happening to Eun Dan-oh. She discovered that she was a character in a web novel, and not even an important one. She is just an extra. Disgusted by the unfairness of her story, she decides to rewrite it to her liking by starting by getting rid of the fatal heart condition that she was born with, and maybe finding true love as well. Let's also take the MC's place while she's at it. 12. Love Alarm. Genre: romance. A new creation just transcended the limits of modern technology. An application capable of detecting if anyone has romantic feelings for the user within 10 meters. Amazing or terrifying, it is not yet clear if the app is bringing happiness to the users or just throwing their lives into chaos. 13. Aftermath. Genres: thriller, mystery, school, supernatural. From one day to another, An Dae-young's life became an extraordinary adventure of righteousness. He was a completely normal high schooler when he suddenly obtained the power to see when a person is about to kill someone or when an individual is going to be the victim of a crime. Those with bad intentions appear to him with deep blue eyes, while those whose fate is looking grim have bloodshot red eyes. Instead of ignoring his power, he decided to use it to save as many people as he could, even if it meant putting his life on the line. He was going to become a hero. 14. A Superior Day. Genres: thriller. Lee Ho-chul is a very mundane firefighter, a firefighter who one day started holding the life of many when he uncovered the identity of the serial killer that is currently terrorizing the city. The serial killer turned out to be his neighbor, and the one who gave him the information is a hired killer with a grudge against him. He is now stuck in a skirmish between the two and is unable to go inform the police as he has no evidence on the information that was given to him. 15. Beyond the Memory. Genres: drama, sci-fi. Let's jump 20 years in the future. In 2040, there lives a man unable to get over the death of his wife, the love of his life. Every day in meaningless, agonizing death would be a blessing to the man. One day, he received a very bizarre invitation via email. If he accepts, he can leave his physical body and join his wife in a world where death doesn't exist. In other words, he can become immortal. However, an eternal life is really no life at all. A thing that doesn't end has no meaning, no value. Is happiness waiting for him on the other side or misery? 16. A Man Called God. Genres: action, adventure, romance, crime. Inspired a lot from Batman's story, this adaptation of a Korean comic follows the story of Michael King. The man lost his parents, They were murdered, and of course, all he desires now is pure cold revenge. He uses all the power and influences his job can get him to make the lives of those responsible hell on earth. Just killing them is nowhere near enough. He lived a life of crime surrounded by death and blood, and he still wanted more. However, his gruesome life was turned upside down when he met the beautiful reporter, Jinbo Bei, and fell in love with her at first sight. 17. Avengers Social Club. Genres: action, adventure, romance, crime. Three very different women who should have never met happen to come together thanks to Haskrim. They have just one single thing in common: their desire for revenge. They come together to plan the perfect crime and fix those sad lives of theirs. 18. At a distance, spring is green. Genre: romance, life, school, youth. University life is not a walk in the park. Very opposite people have to mix and adapt to each other, work together. Conflict arises, conflicts that sometimes turn into a beautiful, unexpected friendship. That is the coming-of-age story of two university students, Nam Soo-yeon and Yo Jun. 19. Cinderella and the Four Knights. Genres: friendship, comedy, romance, drama. Eun-ha-won is poorly treated by every member of her family. She doesn't have any kind of support coming from them, and yet she is hell-bent on achieving her goal. She wishes to become a teacher and is working multiple part-time jobs so she can pay the tuition for her studies. Now, due to a certain turn of events, she has been hired as the butler of three peculiar and very rich bachelors. The so-called good-for-nothing has now three handsome guys after her, a real Cinderella story, with some extra spice. 20. Bring It On. Ghost Let's Fight, Ghost. Genre: horror, mystery, romantic comedy. Park Bong-pal is a very unique individual. See, he can interact with ghosts. So, logically, he became an exorcist to save money in order to undergo an operation that will make that power go away for good. One day, he meets Kim Yun-ji, a spirit. For some reason, she can't move on to the other side and request Park's help. Ultimately, they became partners, fighting spirits and ghosts together. As time passed, the two of them started developing feelings for each other. But, can love between the living and the dead even flourish? 21. Orange Marmalade. Genre: romance, fantasy, teen. In the parallel world of this drama adapted from a Korean webtoon, humans and vampires are peacefully coexisting. Vampires no longer require human blood to survive, but they are still regarded as monsters. They are no longer feared but discriminated against. To avoid perpetual bullying, most of them hide their true identity and blend in with regular humans, living their life as they do. Baek Ma-ri is one of those vampires. She is an introvert terrified of getting close to people, fearing that she will be discovered. Well, things get a little difficult for her when she falls deeply in love with the most popular guys in her school. 22. Sweet Home. Genre: drama, horror, apocalyptic. Due to family reasons, Cha Yun-soo left the comfort of his house and moved alone in an apartment. Right after he settled in, monsters began an invasion. From one day to another they started appearing everywhere, infesting each and every corner. In order to survive, the residents of the building put their strength together to barricade their home. However, they can't last long on the rations that they have. Who will be the first one to step outside? 23. Feel Good to Die. Genres: comedy, romance, drama, fantasy. Baek Jin-sang is a horrible boss. He always has to have the last say, believes he is never wrong, and has no respect for his subordinates. In other words, he drives Lee Ru-da and all her coworkers completely crazy. They hate him. One night, Lee Ru-da dreamt that her boss was going to die, hit by a truck, on November 7th. When she woke up and saw that that day was today, she decided to take it as a premonition and try to save the life of this undeserving jerk. 24. All of Us Are Dead. Genres: action, thriller, horror, sci-fi. A virus just broke out in a high school. The infected ones are turning into zombies hungry for human flesh, and anyone they bite will become one of them. The students, terrified and in panic mode, are trying to find a way out of that hell. Struggling to survive, they will throw anyone under the bus to assure that they will make it out of this disaster alive. 25. Best Mistake. Genre: romance, comedy, youth. Kim Yeon-do had a bit of a stalker problem. A boy who had a crush on her just wouldn't leave her alone. So, in order to get her peaceful life back, she had to use the big guns. She found a photo of a random boy, posted it on social media, and told the world that he was her boyfriend. Little did she know that that boy is actually a delinquent and that he was not very happy with her post. He came to find her. Terrified, she told him that she would make it up to him. Forced to hang out with him, she realized that the expression was true. Never judge a book by its cover. There was much more to the delinquent than meets the eyes. 26. Flower Boy Next Door. Genre: romance, comedy. Go.mi is the MC of this live-action K-drama adaptation. She is an antisocial copy editor who barely steps out of her house to avoid any kind of human interaction. She sticks to a very strict routine. She always starts her day by spying on the neighbor, Han Tae-jun, the guy she fell for after he saved an abandoned dog from the streets. Then we have Oh Jin-rak, a webtoon artist living in the same building as Doc Mi. For some reason, he is head over heels for our shy shut-in, has been for years. Using her as his muse, he made the webtoon, Flower Boy Next Door. The story is based on Gok Mi's life and he expresses his desire to open up the world for her. The second love triangle of this drama focuses on Enrique Giam, a genius video game developer. He is in love with Yoon Seo-young, however, she has feelings for his cousin, Han Tae-jun. Thinking only of her happiness, he decides to play Cupid and bring the two of them together. As more and more people invade her privacy, Go-Dok Mi's lonely life turns into her worst nightmare. 27. Amanza. Genres: life, family, fantasy, melodrama. There is really nothing more terrifying than illnesses. An enemy impossible to fight nor control. It's as if your life is slipping from in between your fingers and there is nothing you can do about it. The MC of this drama knew this all too well as he was diagnosed with terminal stomach cancer. The extremely painful treatment combined with the fact that there is no way for him to survive made him fall into despair. The only place where he can smile again is in the magical forest located in the abyss of his imagination. A place filled with magnificent creatures, a place where miracles are common things, a place where all questions can be answered. 28. The Tale of Nokdu. Genres: historical, romantic comedy. The story takes place during the Joseon dynasty. A man poses as a girl in order to infiltrate a village exclusive to women. His goal is to uncover the mysteries surrounding his origins. There he meets a young miss trying to escape her destiny to become a kisang while she was concocting a plan to avenge her family. As their paths get intertwined, they will uncover truths that will not only shake the entire village but the whole country.